Naleta Action Prezzo CMB.
And what's up, everybody? This is Citizen Digital. My name is Kabuga, and today we are hanging out with the king of bling himself, CMB Prezzo, the man who brought the show into the business. You're right, in his studios in Nairobi. We're catching up with him because he has been releasing new music, doing great things lately, and we can't wait to know what more is happening. Remember his songs, Mafans, one of the biggest songs in this country. Mafans just turned 20 years old last year. Where were you when you first heard Mafans? Ulikuwa unafanya nini? Mafans na wapenda wote. Remember those days? This is the man himself. He brought you big bangers, not just Mafans. It's a lot of other songs, and you definitely know them. And we're going to be talking about that and more right now in his studios in Nairobi. Welcome to the show. Let's catch up with the man, the king of bling, the flamboyant rapper himself, CMB Prezzo. I'm a Jackson Makini. Okay, Panda. My brother, how are you doing?
How's it going, bro?
Nice to see you, man.
Good to see you.
I'm a huge fan. I'll tell you that for free. I'm a huge fan.
Thank you.
I was just telling him on our way here, I'm telling him, this is a legend. Napenda Prezzo.
Yeah.
Napenda Nameless, Napenda Jua Kali, Nonini. You know, those guys, you paved the way for so many people, actually.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be such a grand master of the game, all of the grandfathers of hip-hop in this country, and now looking at the Calligraph Jones, looking at, you know, Octopizzo, looking at King Kaka? How do you feel while you're seated?
Well, for me, you know, first and foremost, thanks for having me.
Sure.
For me, it's a great feeling because, you know, at the end of the day, like my mission when I got into the music industry, there was no industry really, you know, and my main goal was to open up doors for the next generation, so the next generation can open up doors for the next, and so on and so on and so forth. So I feel proud because when I look at the younger generation that came after us guys, they can actually make ends meet through their music. But you see, we had to fight that battle before in the early 2000s, and at the end of the day, my pride and joy comes to seeing the other generation that came after us, like prospering.
And this is the early 2000s. Maybe you can paint a picture of how bad was it then? You know, as far as making money, as far as getting your music played. You were very played, actually. I can't compare you to any other person.
Yeah.
But how bad was it then? How challenging was it then?
It was very challenging, you know, because at the end of the day, you know, like I said, there was no industry. So everyone was trying to find themselves. At that time, you know, like you couldn't actually be from uptown and be accepted as a rapper. You know, straight up, first impression is uni babi, you know. But then for me, like, you know, I just shut my ears, kept my eyes focused, and I looked at the bigger picture. And fast forward, here we are now 20 years later. You know, that's 2 decades plus.
That's crazy.
And we're still here, we're still moving, we're still signing autographs.
I know, right? Yeah. And before you came, we had rappers like Kala Mashaka, who are doing very hardcore music, very rough street music.
Yeah.
And then you brought some flamboyance, and then you brought this uptown kind of vibe.
Right.
How were you accepted by the crowds, let's say? Because Kenyans are used to very hard rap, and then here is this guy, kid.
I guess Prez left them no choice, to be honest with you. Because with the antiques that Prez had, it was almost impossible for you to snub him or turn a blind eye. Because Prez was all up in your face, whether you like it or not.
Absolutely.
I put out this music video in 2006, I'm not sure. It was called Prezzo. So with that music video, I in-synced all the TV stations and radio stations to play that song at the same time at exactly 6.
Wow.
So you see, like, that's why I'm saying the antiques that Prez had, you couldn't because you turn into Citizen, you see Prezzo. You turn to the next channel, you see Prezzo. At the same time, you say, forget the TV, let me go to radio, the same
Prezzo.
song. Yeah. So it's just, you know, for me, I was passionate about music. My flow was always like braggadocious. So when I came back, you know, I just implemented my same formula. And it worked, so people didn't really have much of a choice like to snub Prezzo.
That is a very genius marketing gimmick, if you ask me. Did you have a team, or are these things just you just coming up with them in your bed? You're like, this is what I'm going to do. Did you have a team behind you?
I had a team. I had my CMB family. You know, Firoz, Oscar, rest in peace. I had a team with me.
And your mother, of course, played a very huge role in your evolution, right?
Yeah, all she had to do was just pray for me.
Okay. Ingine
Prezzo, contrary to what people might think. But it doesn't matter to me, because at the end of the day, yeye ni madangu. Kwa hiyo I contribute ama si contribute, you know, still, you know, it is what it is. Unaelewa? So I'm the kind of person, I don't mind somebody having constructive criticism. But then when somebody just criticizes someone for the sake of just talking, then I lose all respect that I have for that individual. But the role that my mom had to play was just pray for me. The rest, you know, me and my CMB family.
Moral support.
Yeah, moral support, 100%.
I know that.
And the rest was just me and my team. Yeah.
What is the state of music right now when you look at it 20 years later after Mafans, which was, it's a classic right now, it's a Kenyan classic. And the state of music right now, are we churning out classics? Talk about the music right now. What are we doing?
Well, the music right now, I guess...
Especially, we have so much to talk about, but talk about maybe urban tone and, you know, what you're seeing, you know, what you're seeing in this country right now, musically.
Yeah, I just think we really need to pull up our socks, to be honest. Because you see, I respect what everybody is doing in the industry and for the industry. But then the thing about this new genre of music, it doesn't have a long lifespan. You know, like when you listen to Let's Get Down, when you listen to Mafans, you know, it has longevity. Unaelewa, like 20 years down the line,
you still listen to that song.
There's not even one day you'd go to a club and they not play Mafans.
True.
That I can put my life to it. You know what I mean? But then, hizi zenye zinatoka saizi, within a span of maybe, what, 5 years?
5 is a lot, sometimes, I'm sorry to say.
I'm just being a gentleman.
Okay,
I'm
true.
being
You're just being modest.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it doesn't have longevity.
True, true.
And if your music doesn't have longevity, you have to look at people like Bob Marley. You listen to Bob Marley's music today, you wouldn't believe how old the songs are. But they have that feel to it, they have that vibe to it, they have, you know, that longevity. Yeah, but with the new generation, again, I salute them, but then their music that has no longevity. It
doesn't go anywhere. But we have, I feel, I don't know about you, do we have some people who are doing it right? Do we have, what's your comment maybe on Bien, on Yashinsky? Do we have some people who might be doing it right?
Oh no, Bien, Yashinsky, like those are not on the urban tone level.
Oh, true. This is general. Maybe now let's talk about those now, for instance.
No, you see, like someone like Yashinsky is still doing his thing.
So many years later.
Same thing with Bien. You know, Kizuri wakina juza wakati wote. You know, so nothing but love and respect to those individuals there. Also, Kali is also holding this industry down. True. You know, and most importantly, you have to give props where it's due. So if you see somebody else, like, you know, winning, the best thing to do is cheer them on, and then wait for your turn as well.
I read somewhere that you highly believe in the culture of giving someone their flowers.
Absolutely.
Why so? Which is a good thing, but why is it so rooted in you?
Absolutely, because you see, it actually costs nothing to give cowboys flowers.
Absolutely.
It costs nothing, but you see, at the end of the day, kama wewe unafanya jitihada, yani you're making motion, you're making progress. For me to come and tell you, my brother, you know, that's the way to go. It'll motivate you. It'll also motivate me. I'll say, okay, Prez, you also need to pull up your socks. You need to get 1 or 2 things done straight. And also in the eyes of the man above, it actually gives you higher chances of you prospering because you have no ill will with anybody. And you cheer your peers or whatever, you cheer them on. So why shouldn't my turn come?
You sound very diplomatic right now, but when you started, there was a lot of beef going on, and you were part of that as well.
Yeah.
Was it real, by the way? Was it real? Were you beefing with some of these rappers? Was it fabricated for the media?
No, what happened was, like that brand Prezzo blew out of proportion. And then, you know, like we're in the forest, we're in the jungle. And when people see this guy's name is up there, then for them to get some recognition or to get some attention, they'll try and pick war with that guy up there. So many of them were trying to pick war with me. Not that niko na deni yao, au nimekuwa na demi yao, au nimekuwa sijui, au nimewakosea kwa njia yoyote. For them, they were just looking for an easy way out, you know, easy way to climb up to fame using my name, you know. And, you know, these things do happen. I've seen it happening even in abroad, you know. But thank God for me, I already understood what I was putting myself into. So out of all these rappers that were trying to, like, you know, front with me, I really didn't give much of them
any attention. But then again, you went to the studio, and I remember you did a song with Jua Kali and Nonini. Remember the song actually? It was called
Vile Tafanya.
Yes, yes. That was at the height of you guys beefing or whatever that was.
Yeah.
How was the outcome of that? And did that just close the chapter on beefing
completely? Oh, no, me and Nonini and Jua Kali never had beef.
Okay, people assumed so.
No.
Did they assume so?
No.
Okay.
Myself and Jua Kali and Nonini, we never had beef. Matter of fact, you know, us guys were always just about positive energy. I went to Calif Records to get the record Vile Tafanya while I was getting Mafans as well. Okay. So me and them were very cool. We've never been at loggerheads even once. The ones who were beefing were just this minor.
Watoto
wadogo. So nilikuwa nashindwa sijui nitoe mkanda ni wanyoroshe now. But
20 years later, what would you say is your biggest regret? It could be biggest, it could be one of your regrets, it could be one or two. 20 years later, what do you think you should have done right, or you know, do you have any actually? You know, to be honest with you, and this is God's honest truth, I have no regrets whatsoever. You know what I mean? I have no regrets whatsoever. What I go by is this: kufanya kosa sio kosa, kurudia kosa ndio kosa. Unaelewa? So for me, nikishafanya kosa, I try my level best not to repeat that mistake. You know what I mean? So with that kind of mind frame, it's very hard for you to have any regrets, because, you know, it takes a lot of principle and discipline for you not to repeat the same mistake that you did. Well, for me, I have no regrets whatsoever. I give thanks to the Most High every day, because, you know, tomorrow is never promised. So I've been in the game for 20 years plus, right? I really don't understand when people say, Prezzo amenza kuzeeka nini. I'm like, yeah, you know, in this world, it's either one or two things. You either die young or you live long. If you're given that option, go with live long, definitely.
Live long, right?
True.
Yeah, so I'm enjoying each and every step of the way. You know what I mean? And I'm happy because I got my family, I got my toys with me. I got everything like working out to my advantage. So I have no complaints, I have no regrets. And you know,
you broke a couple hearts along the way, though. Quite a number of hearts along the way.
Yeah.
Was it real breakups, or the Prezzo umetuonyesha mambo? You want to comment about that? You ulivunja maroho hapo. That journey has been crazy romantically. Some of it, I'm sure, was for the media, was publicity blitz. Some of it was real.
Yeah.
What do you want to say about the relationships that you've been with? It's quite a number, actually.
Yeah, let's just say, during those times, I was a rolling stone. And where I laid my hat was my home.
Papa was a rolling stone.
Yeah, Papa was a rolling stone.
True.
Anywhere I laid my hat, that was my home. But my intentions were not to break hearts or anything. You know, us guys were still young. You know, the fame was there. The money was there. You know, so you know, like living on the fast lane, these are things that, you know, it's nothing to be proud of, but it's just part of life.
Part of the game.
Yeah, part of the game. Yeah, so
like a rock star. You know how rock stars live, man.
not like a rock star.
A rock star.
Yeah.
I've seen in a couple of recent interviews where you've talked about your brother very glowingly, and I think I've seen him around. That's your brother, right?
Yeah, that's my brother.
That's your younger brother. He's 20 years old.
Yeah.
Tell us about your brother. You have so much love for him, which is obvious. You want to comment about him, and what are you doing with him currently?
Yeah, my brother, you know, he's called Filippo. He's 20 years old. He's the last born of our family. I have 2 sisters and I have 1 brother. So Filippo is the last born. Now him being the last born, you know, Yendioro Yangu, as much as he's my brother, he's more like my son. You know what I mean? So me and him, you know, we're like yin and yang. And I try to show him like the right ways to approach life. So that, you know, he cannot go through the potholes that I went through. And then again, like I said, he's my younger brother, but mostly he's like my son, you know, and we have a very good relationship together. He's the one who actually runs this studio. I have other things to do, but then, yeah, bossy, and he's a smart kid, you know, very vibrant. Anybody who has a conversation with him then gets to understand why Prez has Filippo as his favorite people.
Is he following you musically? Is he following your footsteps? Is he trying to get into rap, get into music, you know, do any of this thing?
Yeah, for him, what he plans to do is he wants to do management. So there are a couple of artists that he's gotten, and he wants them to record, and then he can sign them under the label. Magnum Studios, in conjunction with Compact Records. And then, you know, from that part, like he is in music, but on the management.
He's more of a background kind of guy.
Yeah, more of a background kind of guy. But he's already scouted like a couple of acts, you know. There's a guy called 30. He's under the umbrella. We have Njage, he's under the umbrella. You know, we have Amor, she's under the umbrella. So he's doing quite well, you know, and he has to realize that I'm not going to dip into my pocket to pay for this studio.
True.
So for it to keep running and for him to keep making extra bucks, then he has to stay 10 toes down.
True. In the US, we see a lot of...
Thanks for asking that, by the way. Nobody's ever asked me that.
I know, right? Yeah. I was just researching a little about you on my way here, and I had to ask you that. In the US, we've seen a lot of old heads, the likes of Nas, the likes of Jay-Z, you know, Snoop and everybody else. Sometimes they have these sort of concerts where they bring the Jadakiss and Eminem and 50 Cent. They come together and they do a crazy show in Chicago, California, whatever. Why don't we have that here? Why don't we have you? We have Nonini, we have Juakali, you know, maybe annually. Is that something that you guys have thought about, or no one has ever thought about that?
I mean, if it was thought about, then it would have been out there. But then again, you see, it comes back to that giving people their flowers thing. You know, not everybody has the same mindset as me. You know, so that means that, you know, there are a lot of people, I mean, in the industry out there who still have something in their hearts, you know, and every man for themselves. You know, so it's...
Because I have a feeling that would be a concert that would really be attended if you come to think about it.
Definitely. Yeah, can I give you why the reason is? You see, when we started music, we had fans. You know, the fans were in the same age bracket as ours, right? True. Fast forward 20 years later, those fans are still there. You know, of course, we're still in the same age bracket. So if you give them a concert like that, they'll all come out like kwa wingi.
Of course they will.
You know, to support. But then now, you know, like with the artists, if we don't have any coordination amongst ourselves, then, you know, we only have ourselves to blame. And, you know, we're fumbling on the bag. But, you know, like, that would be a very amazing,
brilliant. Do you feel like there is unity in the Kenyan music industry?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. Actually, you took the words off my mouth. The reason why we don't have concerts like this is because there's no unity. You know what I mean? But then shout out to P Unit though. P Unit, they have a show this weekend. They're also marking their 20 years in the game. So at least I've seen them, like they've tried to, you know, mobilize a couple of big names here and there so that they can come for that concert. So big shout out to P Unit for that.
All right.
Yeah.
Last year around October, Prezzo, you went to a church, Reverend Natasha.
Yeah.
It was announced that you're born again. And
Yeah.
you're doing gospel music.
Yeah.
Is that still the stand, I don't know, 4 months, 5 months later?
Okay, so let me tell you.
What direction are you taking here?
This is what happened. My mom is a very holy spirit, okay? So she happened to go to Rev's church one Sunday.
Okay.
And then when she went there, you know, like the church actually requested her, can you please come and bring Prezzo to the fellowship, right? So when my mom asked me, you know, like I said,
Sure.
okay, cool, yeah, because at the end of the day, like, there's nothing I'm doing. It's a Sunday, and why not? Unajua, like, I might as well go to church and escort mama. When I took her there, you know, like, then again, it boils down to that name, Prezzo. If it was any other artist who went to church, it wouldn't have broken the internet.
You still have the same, you're the same old Prezzo.
I stand
Go
to
ahead.
be corrected. Think of any artist, bro.
I don't want to think about nobody.
Don't worry,
it's,
I'll wait.
It's just you.
So I didn't call media, I didn't call nobody because I was going there for fellowship. So when I went there, you know, when people saw me there, automatically they started assuming that Prezzo's been born again. Prezzo is born again. Prezzo is not doing secular music again. One thing I cannot do in my lifetime is to mock God. That I cannot do. You know, and what I always say is I can offer 1 million shillings to anybody who saw me hold the microphone and say, yeah, you know, I'm born again. And, you know, because I cannot mock God. I can mock anybody else but not God.
Sure.
So when that happened, I wasn't surprised because ni Prez. And all I did, there's 1 million for grabs. Anybody who saw me grab the microphone and say, yeah, you know, ABC.
You actually never did that.
I never did that.
But you never clarified the rumors, did you?
I don't have to.
Okay.
I really don't have
There's so much confusion out there.
I really don't have
didn't
to.
understand what's going on.
Because you see, also with the media houses, instead of them having a good approach to things,
They just went with...
without even asking, without even anything, they started putting it down. Yeah, Prezzo. You know, for them it's good because
They're going to pull in readers and viewers and all that.
for them,
Yeah.
you see, but then you have to be considerate and think about this person that we're talking about, you know, or that reverend, you know, like they've been saying so many things here and there, but then the reason why I said I'm not going to clarify nothing is because me na Mungu wangu tunajua ukweli. So, you know, if you knew how fast human beings forget you once you're dead and gone.
True. True.
You know, they take you to shags wherever, they bury you, you know.
It's a wrap.
And it's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
If you knew how fast they forget you once you're dead and gone, you will never, ever spend time trying to please human
And people don't know that enough.
Yeah.
People don't know
And
that
then
enough.
nowadays, even like funerals are not funerals anymore. They're road trips.
Absolutely.
Hey, you guy, my guy, so is that my guy? See, which
They don't even come to your gravesite. They just... You saw Brian Chira, this TikToker Brian Chira. It was just a complete chaos.
Yeah.
Now that you've shut down the rumors of you being born again or singing gospel music, would you actually do that?
Would I do what?
Would you actually like say, you know what, I'm born again and I'm shifting to gospel music? Is that something you would do?
Yeah, if I feel right in my heart by it, I really would.
If the time is right.
Yeah, because you see, at the end of the day, like even I still go to church till this day. I go to church.
So you are a spiritual person.
Yeah, I just go.
We don't know that side of you though.
Huh?
Atujui your side yako, but go ahead.
I go to church. I go on Sundays and I go on Mondays.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying? But then you see, the church is the house of God.
True.
And whenever you're in there, contrary to anybody else's beliefs, I feel like it's just your opportunity to talk to your God and ask him for what you want to ask him for, ask him for forgiveness, ask him to bless you with this new job that you're looking for, you know, and he listens to prayers. Because to be honest with you, ever since I went to ECC, like my things have just been smooth sailing.
Oh, wow. So you want me to go there? Maybe I need to go there.
Pull up, bro.
My cameraman needs to go there. His life is in shambles.
Pull up, bro. You know, if you need God, just pull up.
You look better health-wise, I would say that. How do you feel health-wise? You had a health scare last year.
Yeah.
At a Bahati Lounge event,
yeah,
where you collapsed or something like that.
Yeah,
how are you feeling now, health-wise? And
I thank God, man. You know, apart from my haircut, you know, I just came from the ranch and everything in Naivasha. But apart from my haircut, you know, usually I look good. But being
no, you do still look good. I mean, come on.
Being in the bush for some time, the hair has grown and everything. But to answer your question, I do feel great. I give thanks to the Most High because I've seen so many close shaves to death. You know, let's just be honest. And so for me to be here, when I had that seizure, it was just fatigue. But then again, it's prayers. So people will say, unajua ile Illuminati wameanza kumrudia. And others will go like, unajua madawa ya kulevya. You know, people accuse me of so many things. But then I ask myself this, I'm like, since 2004, if Prezzo was using drugs, right, at least till now, I would have checked in and out of rehab, at least kama mara tatu. But I've never been to rehab even once, bro. But then you see in the perception ya watu, unajua, people tend to have, like, you know, an opinion about you, and yet they don't know you. So you cannot judge a book by its cover.
Why would you think people have had that assumption for so long that you use drugs? Why would you think they have that assumption about you?
Because you see, back in the day when we started the music, and part of the people who were trying to beef with me, let's just cut to the chase. Bamboo did a song called Matap Tap, right? Back in those days, I think in 2004. So when he did that Matap Tap song, the journalists also picked up from there and saying, unajua labda Prezzo Matap Tap. Oh, no, Matap Tap. So now the sad part is, from the fans on the receiving end, when they read it on the newspaper, they go like, oh. Was
it directed at you?
Yeah, it was directed at
me. Remember you guys were beefing at that time?
Yeah, it was directed at me. That's the only thing.
It started the rumor.
That started the rumor. And then, you know, like, as time goes by, I had to teach myself how to grow a thick skin. You know, and that's what I'm saying. Had it been true, there's no junkie who can survive 20 years without going into rehab. Ama bila kutupa mbao. Amjanikuta hapo nje na ukota makaratasi and things like that.
We've actually seen, as a matter of fact, a lot of Kenyan celebrities who have like falling off kabisa.
Trust, bro.
Because of drug use and alcoholism and hata tunawachangia on, you know, and we have never even contributed to you.
Trust me. And you see, the thing is, like, it's not humanly possible for you. You cannot be immune to drugs and alcohol.
It has to get at you.
Yeah, at some point in time, it will get a toll on you. And, you know, it'll break you down. Now, how you pick yourself up depends on you. But then, I've never been to rehab before. When I was at Bahati's launch, I was actually, we were working on some projects. Like, there was some construction going on. And I remember, like, you know, these fundis were driving me up the wall. Nilikuwa sijakula. You know, I just wasn't in it. Bahati called me at around like 3. I had totally forgotten about that launch. He called me around 3 and he said, hey, bro, vipi unakuja? So I'm like, oh no, wait. Niko nao mafundi bado. I'm like, damn. And you know, I'm a man of my word. I said we can link up today. I cannot keep you pending and say, unajua, because I already gave you my word. So by the time I got there, I was even on an interview. And the next thing you know, I'm on the floor. Thank God there were people recording, but shame on them though. Because, you know, you cannot watch somebody having a seizure and all you're worried about is content.
The culture of social media right now.
You see what I'm saying? So shout out to my security, you know, my security, the guy, he really came through, and Tumbili as well. You know, they took the banners and then they used that to shelter, cover me from them.
Pretty much.
But then when I got back from the seizure, I didn't know what had happened.
You were trending already at that point.
Yeah. So when I got up, when I got back to my senses, you know, like the security and whatnot, you know, shout out to John. John is a very nice guy. Like, I've been with him for a very long time. So he came and told me, "Uko sawa?" I told him, "Yeah, I'm okay." But then, you know, like, I was wondering, all this attention I'm getting from these people, what is going on?
Yeah.
And then they took me to my seat. Then that's when even, you know, like the vice president picked me up. You know, you can imagine how my haters felt.
I can imagine.
But all this while, I really had no idea what had gone on. So all said and done, when the whole thing was over, people started coming to me one by one. "Prez, are you okay?" The first one was like, yeah, niko poa, thanks. Took 2 steps and then somebody else, another lady comes, "Oh my God, Prez, are you okay?" I'm like, "Oh my God, yeah, I'm okay." Kidogo, kidogo, the next person. So I was wondering, I'm like, what the hell is going on here? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what I mean.
But then when I got home is when now I got to see
what's happening
what
online.
transpired. But then I thank God that I didn't know about it, because had I have known about it, then I would have told my team, like, "Yo,
I have to check.
I have to go."
I have to check.
You know.
True.
But the fact that I didn't know what happened, I soldier on, and I'm glad I soldiered on, because the night ended up being a beautiful night.
A success, actually. Talking of thick skin, you do have quite a number of tattoos. I know you've spoken about this topic for a while.
Yeah.
How many tattoos do you have, Prezzo? Can you even count them?
I can't, bro.
This is just, and they're beautiful, actually. Very nice artwork.
Yeah, thank you.
It's a lot. What is the thing? What is the inspiration? Does every tattoo have some special meaning, or sometimes it's just beautiful art?
No, all the tattoos on my body have a meaning. You know, and
the one we know most, the one Kenyans know most, is the one of your dad. I don't know.
Yeah, the one from MZ.
Yeah, that one to my son and get you right.
Yeah, right there.
Okay.
So, all the tattoos on my body have a meaning. All of them. And you know, like, you don't want to scribble something on your skin
that you might regret.
Or has no meaning. So, you know, like, with tattoos, right, they have to have a meaning behind it. You know, and all the tattoos that I have a meaning. Like, I have my pops here, I have my daughter here, I have Ngechu here, Minim Zalendo, you know, like this here says Mau Mau, True Heroes. So if you see, like, there's a map of Kenya, and then there's like hands in chains. So it's a symbol of freedom. And then this here says Mama Africa, the motherland. You know, all of them, these are my daughter's footprints.
Wow, is all over your back, all over your front, or is it just on your arms?
On the front, I only have blessed.
Okay.
On my chest.
Can my cameraman really have a tattoo? Can he really?
First we need him to go to church.
Okay. Before we talk about, we're going to talk about your political side, as now we come to the music that you're currently doing and where you're working with and CMG Records and all that.
Yeah.
I'm in your studio and I can see an extremely huge, a massive actually, mural of Mzee Moi on the wall.
Yeah.
and then as I was coming here, I just, you know, to catch up about you, you told some publication that you are a huge fan, you know, of Mzee Moi, President Moi.
Yeah.
Why so? He seems to be a figure that most Kenyans, and allow me to say this, most Kenyans do not want to remember his time for obvious reasons. But now here you are, you adore him apparently.
Definitely. So first things first, you know, growing up in primary school, every Fridays we used to get maziwa ya nyayo.
I did that too.
Okay, that's first things first. Secondly, there's some countries, and I'll give you an example. Some countries need to have a dictator for the country to move smoothly. Okay, when they went to Iraq, they said Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction.
It was a lie.
They went, they took the poor guy out. But look at the state of Iraq right now. There's no motion. There's no progress. Libya, the same thing. They took out Gaddafi. Look at Libya right now. So you see, as much as, you know, Moi was that tough leader, tough love kind of leader, but at least, you know, things were moving smoothly.
Prezzo, Moi sort of messed up the economy, and there were so many killings and political, detainees and all that. What can you say about that?
These kind of things, they happen in any other country. And trust me, like, sometimes, like him doing all these things that people are saying, what they don't understand is maybe it was a blessing in disguise, because, like I said, I gave you Saddam Hussein as an example, I gave you Gaddafi as an example. So some countries need that kind of leader. I don't want to use dictatorship.
A firm person.
They need a firm person, because if you look at even the infrastructure for Nairobi back in those days, you cannot compare it to any other country in East Africa. So, aside from looking at other negative things, look at the positive things, like, say, the infrastructure. If you go to Kampala, the infrastructure, bro, is two totally different things.
I can imagine.
Yeah, so there are just some things that I guess, are much needed in a country for things to go smooth still. Besides
Mzee Moi, is there any other, maybe, I'm sure there are there other people that you look up to, you adore, you could have them on your wall if you could, all over the world, in Kenya, for instance, I don't know, dead or alive?
That guy there.
That is you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you asked
very narcissistic answer. Is it narcissistic? Whatever. But that's okay. But that's okay. Who else do you have? Like I normally ask people these questions. If you were to go to dinner, which person would you pick, dead or alive, to go to dinner with?
Dead or alive?
I'd pick Bob Marley. Everybody who knows me knows I would pick Bob Marley.
Yeah. I'd pick my late father.
Ah, okay. Very good answer.
Yeah, I'd pick my late father. It would be nice to chop up some food with him.
So, but maybe for those who probably do not know, and of course there are a lot of young Kenyans who do not know, how old were you when you lost your dad?
I was 13 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any memories?
Of course.
Of brilliant times?
So many. So many. Like, Demze, he was also somewhat like Moi, like tough love and everything. But then, with the same breath, I can say he was the most loving father out there. Because every birthdays I used to get remote control cars. Every Christmas, and then you say Christmas is in December, my birthday is in January. So nikisha collect gifts za December. Tunavuka mwaka New Year's, tarehe 9, birthday yangu, more gifts. So, but when it came to masomo and everything, he was very strict. But after the masomo, he was the coolest.
He's the coolest dad ever.
Yeah.
That should be a nice guy that you should go for dinner with.
Yeah.
Comment about, so we wrap up the political session of this.
Yeah.
Comment about Trump. Currently, a lot is going on in the world. He's really messing up some wild economies, and a lot of things are happening from Mexico to Canada to Greenland, all over the world.
Yeah.
What do you think of Trump?
I think Trump has a good head on his shoulders, and he
appears like a man you'd admire.
I do. I have the Make America Great Again hats, like 4 or 5 of them, and then you have to realize that, ile mara ya kwanza aliingia kwa power, si ndio? Aya, akaja katoka ule Joe Biden akaingia. And then jamaa karudi tena kwa mara ya pili. It's not by fluke or by chance or by luck. One thing that you have to give it to this guy is that he's a shrewd and very successful businessman. So he is the kind of person who will run America as a business. That way he'll make sure that the economy is good, everything is on check. Of course, misunderstandings here and there haziwezi kukosa. But
your family behind the man?
Huh?
You are family behind?
I'm very family behind him.
Okay.
And that's why, he came in for the second term effortlessly.
Because Americans clearly love him.
Yeah, but then now...
Racist or not?
You see, binadamu sisi hatunaga shukrani. You can do so much good for me. So much good, like every time I look out to you, I'll be like, yo bros, you look out for me, help me out with this and that. And you keep helping me over and over again. And then that one time that you don't help me, I'll start seeing now how you're a bad person. And then I forget about all the 100 times that you've helped me and looked out for me before. It's just human nature, you know. It's just like jealousy. Jealousy is also human nature.
It's a disease.
It's a disease.
Prezzo, you have a flag here. You have a flag here. Clearly, you love Kenya.
I do. I have one more in the back.
You have one more there. You have tried politics before. You tried to run for a seat before. How politically minded, conscious are you right now? And are you going for a seat in 2027? And if yes, where are you vying?
Yeah. To be honest with you, like, I did try my hands into politics, and I'm not gonna give up on that, you know, because I feel like personally as Prez, I have done jobs that this MPs are supposed to be doing. I really have, you know, and I have receipts for everything.
All right.
So I feel like, you know, we always complain. We complain and complain and complain. Right? But when we complain, we're the same ones who put these people into power. Now, if we actually sat back and thought about it and said, okay, we want the best for this country, let's just sacrifice and not vote for the funny ones, let's vote for the real ones. Then manufaa yake watakuja kuona wao wenyewe kama wananchi baadaye. Unaelewa? Lakini sasa kama chagua viongozi alafu wao ndio wanakuja baada ya mwezi wanasema hivi na vile, so it's just a circle.
Kenyans tend to love populist leaders.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Would you box yourself? What kind of a leader would you describe yourself as? We know populist leaders, and then we know those who don't talk too much but they work.
That's it.
And then those who don't talk and they do not work.
That's it.
It's a very diverse pool
I don't talk, I work. I don't talk, I work. We have affordable housing in Kibera that me and a brother of mine called Steve, we built, you know, for the people in Kibera. That 999 emergency number never used to work up until yours truly, you know, followed up on it on national television. So you can imagine like how many lives were saved after yours truly pulled that 999 stunt.
And where is yours truly, where is he vying in 2027? And which seat, actually?
That's a story that we'll talk on another day.
You're still trying to realign.
Yeah, I don't want to disclose that right now. But in all honesty, you know, I have a party. I registered a party, and it's called Chama Mabadiliko Busara. So
that
Chama
is CMB. Oh,
there you go.
CMB. Interesting.
Chama Mabadiliko Busara.
Good choice of name.
Registered and everything. I have the credentials. I would show you. You know, so for me, like, you know, we keep it moving. We're on motion, kama kawaida. And that's not the last of them seeing me in politics, you know. And it was very sad for me because when I was going around during those campaigns, all the people, all the wananchi wanted was, brother, even you would go there and say, I wanna represent you guys. They will hail you. But then after that, you know, you have to break them off. So what happens is the wananchi, they know that once these people get into power, they will not bother with us anymore. So right now during this campaign period, let us take as much as we can, because once they get into office, we'll not be seeing them around here. So that's the mentality that they have, but can you really blame them though?
You can't blame them, because sometimes it's actually true.
It is
the
true.
moment they leave, they leave.
Most times they
don't come back.
Yeah.
Well, good luck in your political
Thank you, sir.
You know, endeavors.
Thank you,
Let's
sir.
talk about CMG. Let's talk about music now. New music. You have a song with Prezzo currently.
Yeah, with Otile.
No, sorry, Otile, sorry.
Yeah.
Another song with Control Boy. But let's talk about the collaborations lately, the new music lately.
Yeah.
And which is your music home as you speak right now?
Well, which is my what?
Musical home. Is it CMG Records? You want to talk about that? Or?
Yeah, I want to talk about that because you see CMG, they come in like on the management tip. You know what I mean? Management and distribution. You know, so I'm part of CMG family, you know what I'm saying? And they really come through because, you know, you cannot do everything by yourself.
You did a team.
So now, you know, with CMG on board, I really, my shoulders are a bit easy. They're relaxed because things are going smooth sail. So like I said, they're on the management tip and distribution. You get me? So of course, you know, we have the Magnum Studios. Magnum Studios is for, like, you know, we got the green screen, we got the studio and whatnot, what have you. So working hand by hand, side by side with CMG has actually been a blessing to me. And, you know, we have so many other projects that are going to come out in the course of this year. And yeah, you know, I look forward to that.
Are Kenyans supposed to expect an album soon from you?
Of course, definitely. I was meant to release my album on my birthday. But then, you know, due to some unavoided circumstances, I couldn't really do it. But then the album is ready. All we're waiting for is just, you know, the dates. And then we release the bombshell. So they should look out for the album very soon, sooner rather than later. I don't want it to stay for so long. But I've featured a couple of people like, you know, Bahati. Big shout out to Bahati. He's always been a brother to me. He's always been supportive and everything. So shout out to him. I have a lady called Mito. I have two gentlemen called Genge Actors. You know, it's a versatile album, and I can't wait for people to have a listen.
Featuring a very diverse pool of, you know, sounds and stuff like that,
diverse
right?
full of, and well, oh yeah, Music Grand Royale as well.
Right.
I have these brothers from Music Grand Royale. One of them is called George. I call him Brother George. George is a good person, and you know, this guy reads music. You know, he'll have the booklet there, and then, you know, he's playing, and then he's flipping, he's playing.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, man, how did you do that, you know? And he also has played a big role in this album. For him, Music Grand Royale and his team, they've played a big role in the album. So look out for it.
We need to check out for some crazy things. So is there any artist, Kenyan or international, that you're probably looking at and you're like, I'd love to work with this particular person? Could be one or two. Let's start with Kenya.
With Kenya.
Is there people you haven't worked with and you love their craft and you'd love to, you know, hit the studio with them?
Yeah, there's so many to mention, to be honest.
Maybe you can give me two names?
There's so many to mention, bro. Bien would be good, you know, and Papa Jones. Papa Jones would be good too.
Oh, you haven't worked with Papa Jones? I thought you already have.
No.
Okay.
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet. Of course, it's definitely coming. And I'm sure Papa Jones umesikia. The king of the bling, the rapper hapa amesema. Internationally, are you looking at, you know, somebody that you'd probably want to work with?
Internationally, my team were actually talking to Davido and them. So, want to see how that goes. You know, like, you know, I've been to Lagos a couple of times. Myself and him have met some time back. So that's the one collabo that
you die for.
I would not die, but
okay, fine. That you'd really love to, you know, bring on board. I read somewhere as I wrap up that you would never, you're not a trends person, which is actually true. You don't roll with the flow. Oh, saini bongo twende hivi, saini hivi.
No.
And you actually say that we'd never find you on an amapiano jam.
No.
Why so?
Well, you see, for me, I'm a hip-hop artist, you know, and don't get me wrong, amapiano do their thing, especially with the dances and shit.
True.
Dances and they're doing their thing, but for me, it's not my cup of tea. And, you know, again, like I said, I vibe to it, but you cannot find me on a amapiano beat.
Okay.
With all these tattoos, bro, man.
Yeah, it would be a little unsettling. So some time back, I don't know how long that was, a couple of years ago, you met Jay-Z, who is one of your musical idols. I want to believe that. How was that meeting? How did that meeting come about? How was it? How was the man? And is there anything that Jay-Z might do with Prezzo? Can we look out for something?
The meeting was amazing. And, you know, the best part is when I met him, there's an organization called One Campaign, which was founded by U2, born of U2. So I happen to be one of the ambassadors for the One Campaign. And so is Jay-Z. So that's how we ended up linking up. Talked about, like, you know, how we can kick out how we can kick out, like, you know, poverty and malnutrition
yeah.
in Africa. And just one or two things, but you know, it was an honor to meet him, especially on that platform. And hopefully one campaign will help eradicate malnutrition and keep Africa moving forward. It was a good experience for me. I never in a million years thought I would link up with Jay-Z, but for me that also was a milestone.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So, ladies have loved you for all your life, all your career, 20 years plus, even before. I want to believe they loved you. And of course, you've mellowed down. We don't see a lot of Prezzo na madem maneno mingi mingi huko nje. Maybe comment about that and also tell the ladies who are watching this show, Prezzo kona mutu ama hana mutu, can you slide in the DMs? I have a couple girls who would love to slide in the DMs. Let's first talk about you've mellowed down, obviously, and we don't see you with Stella, Diana, Lucy, Susan. What's up with that?
Yeah, well, you see, madem wananipenda, ladies adore me. Maji wananiita mi generali. No, listen, I just grew up, man. You know, I just grew up, and you know, in life, you know, it's about, you cannot expect me to be the same Prezzo I was 20 years ago. You know, I've already been there, done that. I bought the t-shirt, I washed it, it faded. So nowadays it's very hard for you to find something that can stir me, that can move me, you know, because, man, you know, been there, seen it all, done it all. Because nowadays I just value my family time. I value time with my loved ones. And yeah, I take it one step at a time. Yeah, but you know, I cannot be the same Prezzo I was 20.
You have to evolve.
You have to evolve. And part of evolving, you see, you got to realize I got 2 daughters, bro. So now, you know, I'm thinking...
You can be moving around with...
yeah.
How old are your daughters, by the way?
One of them is 15, the other one is 3.
It's a grown girl.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Congrats,
They
by the
look
way.
exactly like me.
Doing a great job.
X-ray, not even photocopy.
Oh, wow.
So, you know,
one of those kids.
sometimes, like, when their mothers are pissed at me, I feel sorry for my children, because when they look at my kids, they see my face, and then they get even more angry.
Yeah.
Yeah, but such is life, though.
So you only have 2 kids, Prezzo?
2 kids.
With two, of course, your ex-wife and
yeah.
the current, I think your current wife?
No.
Okay.
My ex-wife and
some other
baby
nice
mama.
lady somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they gave birth to beautiful kids for me, though, so I'm not complaining at all.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah. I can relate to your story. He knows what I'm talking about. So, well, Prezzo, hapa tuko ni wapi? Maybe tell people where we are. It's a nice, beautiful place.
Thank you.
I can see these. What are these, by the way? Can you talk about these?
Yeah, sure.
You used to wear this shoe back in the day?
Those Timberlands there were the first Timberlands I ever wore to a show, like a professional show. And then these ones here, I shot a video with these ones and I never wore them again.
Okay.
This boombox here, this boombox was bought by my mzee in 1979.
Whoa.
You know, and it's still working. You can see the clock, right? It's still working.
Wow.
So yeah, I've always had this boombox with me everywhere I've gone.
Reminds you of your dad.
It reminds me of my mzee. And you know, back in the day, like, this boombox was the ish.
It was a thing. We had such in our home, so
yeah, it was
I can totally relate with you.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful space.
Thank you, bro.
Where is this? What happens here every single day? So
here, you know, it's a room for the creatives. If you're a creative out there, I wanted to build a platform for the youngins. You know, shout out to CMG. You know, this here is our headquarters. CMG would come here with, like, you know, a whole team of youngins who are vibrant and love what they do. So the whole compound is normally very busy. People are shooting content there. People are shooting content here. People are shooting content here. And there are other people who are doing recording on the other side. So where we're located at, we're on Dennis Pritt Road, 100 meters after Coco Jumbo. You'll just see a brown gate written Seraph. That's where we're at. You know, you can follow our social media pages on Instagram. It's Magnum Studios. And yeah, you know, get with the program. If you if you have talent and you're looking for that platform, you know, holler at us, and you know, we're gonna do a solid one.
Thank you so much, Prezzo.
Thank you for
this has
having
been
me.
a beautiful interview and a beautiful place, beautiful
you.
interview, and a beautiful soul like you as well.
Thank you,
I hope
bro.
I did a good job.
Absolutely.
Asante sana.
Absolutely.
So that is Prezzo. Remember, this is Magnum Studios. You can always check them out on their social media. The man is back and he's clarified he's not doing gospel music, and if he wants to, he might do someday when the time is right. This is Citizen Digital. You can catch up on more of these on our Citizen Digital platforms and the Citizen Digital app as well. My name is Kabuga. See you next time.